This is the Jenny House, and it is Louisville's first affordable and sustainable home. We're going to tell you all about it today. And by the way, welcome to Louisville Focus. When Mayor Greenberg talks about the goals of his administration, he talks, well, first and foremost about the health and safety of our city. He also talks about Thrive by 5, making sure that all children have access to pre-kindergarten education. And economic development, of course, let's bring in the new businesses, but affordable housing is also at the top of his list. So let's talk about that today with some folks from River City Housing. I got Becky Rohrig, and Becky is the President and Chief Empowerment Officer. And Kimberly Good. Kimberly is the Vice President of River City Housing. Okay, first of all, thank you both for coming. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having us.
All right, I'm going to go to you first here, Kimberly.
Okay, sure.
I love the smile, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so,
Thank you.
But you're doing good things, so I understand the smile. Let's talk a little bit about the history and what River City Housing is all about.
Sure. We were founded in 1992 by 3 community area ministries, and we're a small nonprofit focused on providing single-family housing. We're very intentional about providing high-quality, energy-efficient housing. So we provide those to first-time home buyers who are low and moderate income. We extensively renovate our houses when we do rehabilitations, or if we're doing new builds. We're, again, very intentional about ensuring that our houses are affordable at the time of purchase, but also affordable with low maintenance cost and low energy cost.
Good answer. All right. Becky, talk to me a little bit about, I think some people don't understand, and if you could, you're going to have to make it really simple for me. But if you could, talk about the importance of affordable housing and why does River City Housing exist?
So affordable housing is necessary for everybody. Everybody needs to have a place where they can afford to live. And so when you talk about the importance of economic development in the city and bringing jobs into the city, all of those people need a place to live. And so we need affordable housing so that everybody can afford where they live, where they sleep at night, where the kids do their homework, where people get ready for their jobs. And the stability of having the ability to have a stable home is what allows people to thrive and be the full people that they can be.
Well said, and you're right. You know, if you take that stress off and you have, like you said, the stability, to me that does, it has tentacles. You're happier. We've got a better environment, a better city. People get along better. All of that makes perfect sense. So let's talk a little bit about, as experienced as both of you are, and it's very capable, but let's talk about some of the partnerships that you have.
So the work that we do takes a lot of partners to make all of the work happen. And some of that, of course, is our funding partners. So our primary funding partner is HUD dollars that come through Louisville Metro government through the Office of Housing and Community Development. So a lot of our funds come through there. We also get, on this house specifically, we have funding support through the Office of Sustainability. What they did is they helped us vet the solar contractor on this house. So they found the solar contractors, they helped get a bulk discount on the solar that we installed here. So those are 2 pieces that Metro government has provided for us. We also have funding on this house through the Louisville Metro Affordable Housing Trust Fund. So another one of our key players here. The extra energy efficiencies in this house were funded through an grant through the Kentucky Office of Energy Policy. They provided funding. The solar panels are funded through a national grant through the All Points North Foundation. And then we also, in general, have operating support for our organization, and that comes through LISC Louisville. It comes through the PNC Foundation and Kentucky Housing Corporation. Okay. So those are some of the partners. We also have the builder on all of our houses that are our partners. We have realtors and lenders. And so every house that we do is really made up of a lot of partners. You know, a lot of it's financial, but then we also have the pieces that all of the work that people are doing to make it happen.
You know, you mentioned the star of the show, which is this home that we're in right now. It's the Jenny House. And as you've got all these partnerships and moving parts and making sure that the monies are available and the right contractors, et cetera. But this home has heart. So Kimberly, talk about why the Jenny House. Why is this the Jenny House?
Sure. Jenny Jones Miller was a former construction manager with River City Housing that passed away in 2021. She did a significant amount of research around green building and energy efficiency. She wanted to make sure that our buyers had homes that were sustainable. And so she did so much research on this particular house and this concept that we wanted to honor her. And so we named it in memory of Jenny, just to honor the work that she put in and all that she did to ensure all of our buyers were able to have, a home that they could go home to and feel comfortable in and could afford.
What a nice tribute. And her legacy
Lives on.
continues. It lives on, exactly.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the Jenny House and the fact that it is the sustainability side of it here, Becky. So was it a success? Will we have more of these homes similar to the Jenny House?
So it's definitely a success. This house is the first house that combines a house that's certified, a passive house, and also is an affordable house. So all of the houses that we do are affordable. This house specifically has certifications that it's a passive house, it's a zero energy ready house, it's an Energy Star house, and so it brings with it a lot of certifications that make it, one, more affordable in terms of energy efficiency, but also more comfortable to be in. So I live in a 100-year-old house, and I can tell you that there's places that are drafty, there's rooms that are hotter or colder than others. The air quality in here is much better than in most of the houses that are built out there. One of the biggest things, of course, is what the energy efficiency does to the utility bill. And so this house was rated through the home energy rating system. It's a HERS testing, and people will know that some people will know that certification. So it stands for Home Energy Rating System, and it compares a house to an average house. So an average house gets a score of 100. Anything below that is better. This house is scored an 11, which is probably as good as you get in the country almost. And so what it means when you run the calculations on a typical house at 100 versus this house at 11, it'll save the typical family in this house about $3,000 a year.
Wow, so this is the prototype of what you want moving forward, correct?
So this is a great example of what we can do. Most of our houses that we're building have extra energy efficiencies in them, but not quite to the degree of the passive house.
All right. And promise me you're gonna give me a little bit of a tour too as well. Right?
Absolutely. Sure. We'll show you around.
All right. Thank you, Becky. Thank you so much, Kimberly. First names are okay here. We're friends now, right?
Absolutely.
River
Thank
City
you so
Housing,
much.
helping the city. Yes, and affordable housing with the beautiful Jenny House. So what does it take to be a sustainable home? I have an expert with me now. His name is Sai Safi. He is with Uber Green Homes and Spaces. Sai, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for being here, John.
Okay, this is a big deal. This is the first affordable, sustainable home in Louisville. What's entailed? What does it take to get that title to be sustainable?
That's a great question. There's ways of getting there, but we dial it in. So we take climate data sets from Muhammad Ali Airport for the past 10 years. We put in our energy modeling, and we do it specific to this climate zone we're in. And so if we're doing it in Texas, it'd be different. If we're doing it up north, it'd be a lot different. So we made this home resist energy losses from the shell of the home by dialing it into climate zone 4.
Wow, so there is a science to it, Sai.
There is, yeah. And so we want to be able to find that optimal amount of insulation on the outside and the roof of this home, even underneath the floors of the home, to resist energy losses. We seal up all the cracks in the home because the typical home has about a mile of cracks in it.
Oh, I believe that. Okay, Uber Green Homes and Spaces. So I would think that you'd work in collaboration with a lot of construction companies, a lot of companies. I mean, I think this should be mandatory. Is it?
It's not mandatory, this is voluntary. So code minimum is probably the worst legal way to build, only because it doesn't perform. Every complaint that you have in a home, typically not comfortable, high energy bills, humidity, can't cool it in the summer well enough, can't heat it well enough in the winter. We've addressed all those issues and more by approaching it with building science.
Ooh, interesting, because whenever I think about sustainability, I think about good for the environment, good for the earth. But you're saying it's also more comfortable and good for the homeowner.
Absolutely. So essentially, every home should be like this home here. Not only affordable homes, but every home on the market. And so we need to be able to work with folks like River City Housing that make the decision to do that. As a homeowner, you have a decision. Do you want a home that's comfortable, durable? What we call best design and best building practices apply to this to make it that way. Because what's missing on a home? You're missing air barriers, water barriers, vapor control layers, the right amount of insulation, and good windows and doors that do not leak any air.
So tell me a little bit about the amenities you've added or amenities added or the sustainability of the Jenny House specifically.
Well, what we've done was we've provided those pieces that are missing from a typical home. And so when we dial it in with our Woofy Passive software, we're able to say, okay, you can't get away with just doing like R13 or R19 in a wall. You need about R30. Why? Because that's specific to our area here. So we have more insulation on the outside of our wall, and we made these walls in our shop here in Park Hill, and we brought them to the site because they're layered. We layered them with air barriers, water barriers, vapor control layers, and outboard outsolation, we call it. And that's kind of what's missing on a lot of the homes. But we also have these windows that are airtight, they seal really well, and they also have a triple pane effect. We have a very invisible film in the middle that makes it 2 chambers of argon gas, which makes it twice the insulation factor as your typical window.
Si, because I'm a novice when it comes to sustainability, so if you would, tell me maybe some facts about this home, the Jenny House, that maybe I'm not aware of.
Well, interestingly, once we dialed this home in, we'll be saving $3,042 a year. So this average energy bill will probably be about $25 a month. And our HER score is 11. So the lower you are, so average home is probably around 100. Just like golf, the lower score you have, the better. So we're better than about 90% of homes out there. But in reality, this home is better than 99.9% of homes out there based on its performance.
Wow. This home, the Jenny House, is very impressive, but I'm assuming Uber Green also works on other projects, right?
We do, and so to be able to help more and higher volume, we do consulting and we do projects out of town because people do want it and we want to be able to service them. But I also formed a partnership with 3 other guys. We started Relay Group, and so we want to be able to help by volume affordable housing, and we have a project in Park Hill that we'll be doing 233 affordable multifamily certified passive house just like this home.
So like River City Housing, you're making Louisville a better place to live.
Absolutely. It takes all of us to do this, and anyone and everyone, not even in the industry, can be involved to help out.
Everyone I've talked to, I say, this has to be rewarding. When a homeowner gets, and a home like this, even more so for Uber Green and your crew, it's got to feel good to go, hey, I feel good about the home they're moving into. Hey, you're going to enjoy this. You're going to be comfortable, you and your family.
Absolutely. I mean, we take pride in what we do because our reputation and the reputation of our industry is very important to us. And so if we're not doing our best and implementing these best design and best building practices in every project we do, then we're doing a disservice to society.
I really appreciate your time, Si.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we know a little bit more about sustainability with Si Safi. He is with Uber Green Homes and Spaces. The words sustainable and sustainability have a good connotation, and this is the reason why. She is the Executive Director for the Mayor's Office of Sustainability. She is Sumeda Rao. Sumeda, thanks for talking to us.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Okay, tell me, we learned a lot about this home and sustainability. Why is sustainable housing so important?
So sustainable housing is really important because it not only has benefits for affordability directly, but it also has a lot more far-reaching benefits. So the main benefit of having solar panels and energy efficiency and all these great features is it's going to lower energy costs for the residents here. So who wants to be spending hundreds of dollars on your bills when you can spend about $25 and use the rest of the money for something else, right? So that's a huge thing that makes this house more affordable. But then the other benefits that we're seeing, and that's why we call it sustainable, is because it's holistic, it's long lasting, is that it's powered by clean energy, and that means that your air is going to be cleaner because your energy source is cleaner. And it also means resilience, which means if the power lines go out, you know, if you happen to have a battery system or something else, then you can be more independent of the grid. So there are all these different benefits to clean energy, and it helps support these local clean energy jobs. So there's a lot of additional benefits that come with making a home energy efficient and run by clean energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that resonate with me. Saving money is a big one there. So that's a good thing, and it's good for the environment. It's good for the people who live here. All of that, safety, health, everything. Okay, so tell me about maybe some of the partners who helped make this Louisville's first affordable and sustainable home.
Absolutely. So on the sustainability side, River City Housing did a great job of pulling together Uber Green Spaces and all these other partners to build a very energy efficient home. And that was a great starting point. And then where our office got involved is that we run this program called Solarize Louisville. And what the program does is it makes it really easy for people to go solar. We don't want people to feel like you need to have a PhD in physics to be able to get solar panels on your home. So the process makes it very easy by vetting installers, trusted installers that you can rely on, and also negotiates a wholesale discounted rate. So through this program, we had Icon Solar Power that was selected to do this project, and they offered about a 15 to 20% discount that made it even more affordable. And finally, the grant partners came in to fully grant fund the solar panels of the home, and that's how Solarize Louisville was able to help get solar panels on this house.
Sumeda, you were telling me something about a cool roof, or what? Now, what is a cool roof?
Yes, so a cool roof is basically a roof that is a lighter color or a more reflective material, and it basically reflects more heat off your roof, keeping your home cooler. Louisville Metro Government also has an incentive program for that called the Cool Roof Incentive Program, where property owners, residential or non-residential, can get a $1 per square foot incentive back if they use a certified cool roof. This home is actually taking advantage of that program as well. So by using a cooler, more reflective roof, that's going to keep their energy bills lower, but also they were able to get some money back on their roof project.
So a cool roof is literally cool.
Yeah.
So for members in the community who have a home, but it doesn't have the designation of being sustainable, but they want to get closer to that goal, what would you suggest they can do to their home today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, weatherization is always the easiest place to start, and that just means basically sealing your windows and doors, adding more insulation. Especially attic insulation is a great way to get your home more energy efficient overall. It means you're losing less heat. When you heat and cool your home, you're not just blowing it out the windows, you're keeping it in, and it's reducing your costs and making you more comfortable. So that is the lowest hanging fruit in terms of, something that's relatively low cost that makes a big difference. Outside of that, we encourage people to look at appliances that are more energy efficient, that have an Energy Star rating. And of course, if you're interested in solar, Solarize Louisville is an annual program that we run, especially for those in Jefferson County and surrounding counties. You can access that. We run it through the spring to the fall of every year, and it allows you to get connected with a vetted installer and access discounted solar rates.
I know your mission, Sumeda, and you're doing a great job, is to make Louisville, everyone looks to the leader when it comes to sustainability. You want to put us in the forefront and for people to say, wow, that's a good example of a city that's moving in the right direction. How are we doing?
Yes, I would say that we are making some pretty great strides. We are very excited. This project is an example of some of the great work that we're doing. We don't want people to think about technologies like solar panels and feel like that is not for them, or that's out of reach, or that's something that's not going to be something that they can get on their own home. So a big part of the solution is, let's not just come up with these innovative technologies and procedures to make our environment more sustainable, but let's also make it accessible and make sure people can participate. So our Solarize Louisville program last year had 65 participants. In total, we have over 220 that have gone solar through this program. So that's one way in which we're doing this. But if you visit louisvilleky.gov/sustainability, there's lots of other information on other programs and how people can get involved.
You're one of the people, Sumeda, that make me proud to work for Metro Government. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Sumeda Rao once again with the Mayor's Office for Sustainability. I always like seeing my friends in Metro Government, and from the Office of Housing and Community Development is my friend Kevin Sullivan, and he is a project manager. Okay, Kevin, we've talked a lot about sustainability and affordable homes. You are one of the offices in Metro Government that really, this is one of your focuses, correct?
It is.
Talk to me about what you guys do with this particular home, if you'd like.
Sure. So at OHCD, our focus is on affordable housing development. And with our partners, River City Housing and other nonprofit developers in the community, we're able to provide gap financing and other sustainable grants for operating for those developments to help, again, bridge the gap of missing funding to get houses to development.
Okay, so gap financing is exactly what you said. They fill in the gap, correct?
That's right. That's right. Between the construction costs and the acquisition costs, and then the cost to sell the house.
This is a very nice home, beautiful home, in fact. So what kind of family would qualify for this? What are some of the criteria to qualify to buy this home?
Sure. So the family would have to be what we call low to moderate income, and that's at 80% and below area median income. To kind of cut through that, really we're working with households earning between $40,000 and $60,000 a year.
Tell me about, in your words, because I'm getting different opinions obviously on what the area of expertise is, but what are you looking to do for families? What are you looking to do for the community?
Well, again, we think that all families should have affordable housing in our community. So we're looking, again, to bridge that gap, to provide that financing. One of the big things that we bring is down payment assistance. So not only do we help the builder and the developer, we also help that family with down payment where maybe it wasn't there before. So helping provide those funds to get them into that house.
So housing and community development, what other entities in Metro government do you work with?
Well, we work with a myriad of nonprofit developers throughout the community. Again, River City Housing is what we call Community Housing Development Organization, which is a special designation. But we work with developers that are building apartments, that are building single-family homes, really anything to get to our 15,000 unit that the mayor has talked about.
Okay, without going over my head, you've been very nice. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. So what is, you said the 15,000 homes, obviously that is the mission. But what should folks know about affordable housing and what you do, and where can they go for more information?
Well, they can always contact Louisville Metro Government at the Office of Housing and Community Development. Again, what we're tasked with is to produce as many units and to get those Louisvillians in affordable housing throughout the community.
Really appreciate that. Kevin Sullivan. Now you know more about Kevin and, of course, the Office for Housing and Community Development, another entity there in Metro government. River City Housing is making Louisville affordable for everyone. That is the goal, and they are accomplishing that right here at the Jenny House. With me now is Teresa Boyd, who is a housing specialist, and we are rejoined by Kimberly Good, the Vice President of River City Housing. Okay, go to you, Teresa. I'm hearing a lot of this term being used. I have no idea what it means. Shared equity. Shared equity. What does that mean?
So shared equity is an affordable housing model which allows the initial purchase price to be lowered in exchange for a deed restriction that will keep the home affordable for many years to come.
All right. You want to expand on that, any, Kimberly?
Sure. So yeah, it allows more people to be able to purchase the home. So it's a lasting, affordable housing model that allows the initial buyer to purchase at a much lower price in exchange for a deed restricted resale price. So when they sell the home, the next price is affordable to the subsequent buyer.
Kimberly, talk about that alone, don't get me wrong, you do so many other things, but that alone is a huge advantage for the buyer.
It's a huge advantage for the buyer. Again, there's so many pieces of this house that we have incorporated to make this house affordable. So not only the energy efficiency of the house, it really impacts the budget that a family has and what they have to spend on other expenses. So with this house, again, they're going to spend probably about $305 annually in utility costs. As you can imagine, that is critical for a low-income family. That really has an impact on their, spending each month. So that's
that stress off, the more likelihood of being successful, correct?
Absolutely. And that's what we want to do. We want to set our buyers up for success. So as Teresa's mentioned, this house is also shared equity. And so what that means is that this house will be affordable at a much lower price for the first buyer, but it also will be affordable in the future for any subsequent buyer that may buy this house or any of our other houses that are in our shared equity program. We want to create new affordable housing units. With the mayor's program, that's the goal, but it's also important that we preserve those units and that those units we create are still affordable down the line for another family. And so it pays it forward. And so we do that. So part of what we do, the price is much lower when we set the price for the house. It's coded with a special code at PVA so that it doesn't impact other houses in the neighborhood. So we just want to make sure that that's clear, that although we're doing it for this family to ensure that more people have access to home ownership, we don't want to negatively impact the neighborhoods we're working in. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Teresa Boyd, I was reading about you. I try to do my homework, and you said you really try to look out for the little people.
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean to you? I mean, obviously, it's looking out for everyone. We all should do that. Look out for your neighbor. Look out for your fellow Louisvillian. So what does it mean to you?
I say for the little people are the ones who have been historically denied access to markets of housing, historically have not been able to purchase homes, create generational wealth, the ones who get lost in the cracks, the ones who do not have the programs and the resources available to them to raise their position, to raise their family's position and create wealth for themselves. Loving on the little people is very important to me. You know, as I said, a lot of times those who we consider low income or marginalized are often removed and do not have access to affordable housing, to the affordable housing market. So it's very important for me to support those individuals and create pathways to home ownership for them.
All right, you say that with confidence, and you know, I would think your work is very rewarding when you see someone take over the keys to a new home like the Jenny House here. Kimberly, I see you smiling, both of you smiling. So tell me what that feeling is like, because everyone likes to work somewhere where they go, I'm getting something, I'm making a difference.
Right, we are making a difference. I mean, it's why we do what we do. We know the impact that home ownership has on families, the stability that it provides, the security that it provides. It's really the foundation in life in order to achieve other things, to be able to go to school and focus on school when you're not considering where you're going to sleep that night. We take that for granted. And so we're able to do that for families, and it really is why we do what we do. We know the impact that it has, and we want to do it in a way that's affordable, again, at the time of purchase, but they can continue to be successful. And we're here to help support our buyers so that they're successful, and we provide resources and support for them. So,
you know, Teresa, our Mayor Greenberg, talks about affordable housing in every sector of where we live, whether it be West End, East End, South End, North Side of Louisville, wherever it happens to be. That's important to River City housing as well, correct?
Oh yes, very much so. There is no one place in our community where affordable housing should thrive. Affordable housing should be made accessible and thrive in all areas of our community, because there are individuals in all areas of Louisville that need affordable housing, whether it's based on area, whether it's based on need. Affordable housing is a need, and we are very happy to bring our product to Louisville. And we believe it will be very successful. As Kim mentioned, you know, it's not so much as to get the homeowner in the home, it's to make the home affordable and long-lasting affordability for them. So it creates generational wealth so that they're not worried about being homeless, and they can remain housed as they look to raise their position in life.
So shared equity is a national model, but River City Housing brought it here to Louisville.
absolutely.
Well, congratulations to all of you, and congratulations to us. You're doing your job, River City Housing, making Louisville affordable for everyone. Now you and I both know more about the Jenny House, which is Louisville's first affordable and sustainable home. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time on Louisville Focus.